We're going to call from Bob. He owns a Dover Road farm, and if you've seen any of his videos, you'll know that he's got some really big deer on that property, and he's got a lot of turkey. The other thing that they do over there is aggressively trap hogs to keep the population under control. So he planted a 12-acre cornfield to feed back to the deer, and his neighbor has a slight pig problem. And if your neighbor has a slight pig problem, you have a slight pig problem that is on its way. So these pigs move in across the creek, devastate this cornfield. So the only thing left to do now is set up a feeder, wait on when they come back in there, we're going to start thinning this herd. Back over here on Dover Road. We heard two pigs sound like they're fighting down here in the creek about 60 yards away. About 100 yards off the feeder, the wind's right in our face. So we've been on this field from the other side. We put a crowd blind up in here this morning. We've heard those hogs in there about 3 times now, so they may be coming up the creek headed towards this feeder, and someone will shoot them in the head. Shoot the one back that stopped. Shoot him. Yeah. He's all right. I got him right here. Well, I'm not sure why I make plan A, because it's usually the last plan that's going to work. We knew where the pigs were going in, set the ground blind up 50 yards downwind of that, 100 yards downwind of the feeder. And as they come across the field, exactly where we thought they would, they just didn't stop and give Jake a shot. So we had about 5 minutes left of shooting light. I grabbed the gun, he grabbed the camera freehand, no tripod, and that would explain the Blair Witch Project footage. But we do a quick downwind stalk, get in the cornfield with them, and when I shoot this first boar, it's absolute chaos. There are pigs running everywhere. Jake's yelling, shoot them. End of the night, we got 1 pig down, 24 to go. All right, as you saw, they took off running right past the feeder, straight into the cornfield. So we had to do a little improv. Jumped out of the blind. I took the rifle, Jake with the camera. We did a quick stalk around the north side of the field before it got too dark. Clipped this one standing out there. There's a whole bunch of pigs in the field. Had a shot at a bigger pig, but couldn't find any blood. Not real sure he was moving, so it's either a clean miss or he's laying out here. We're gonna come back in the morning because as big as he was, we're not gonna go trying to track him in the dark. So we're gonna get this one in the truck, come back in the morning and see if the other one's here. Well, after the death of their little red buddy, the herd stayed gone for about 3 days. So we bush hogged the rest of the cornfield down, leaving them just the feeder to come to. And we started getting pictures of a big boar coming in there by himself with long cutters. And the dog hunters think that he's the one that's been cutting their dogs up. They'll bay him, but he's just too big, too aggressive. He gets in these tight areas, cuts these dogs up and gets out of there before the hunters can get in there and kill him. So he's just become top of the hit list. I'm going to take my 30-06 and go over there and sit. And if he comes out before dark, I'm going to show him why we're on top of the food chain. Well, it's Wednesday afternoon. I'm here by myself. The majority of the pig herd hadn't been showing up on game camera. They bush hogged the rest of the cornfield, cleaned it up, and I got them good and used to the feeder before they did that, though. Deer have been hitting it heavy, but the really big boar of the group has been in here the past couple of nights right before dark. So I'm going to sit here, and if he comes in here, I'm going to give him a dose of this 30-06. talked to Wes. He said every time they get the dogs on him, he cuts the dogs up, gets loose. They hadn't got close enough to kill him yet, so if he comes in here tonight, I'm going to take care of that problem for him. He's been digging these fields up, and it's time for him to go, so we'll sit here and see what happens. Smack down. That was a good quartering away shot. I couldn't tell what the exit looked like whenever he's running away. I can't see it that good on this little screen, but he should be down right inside those bushes there somewhere. Give me about 20 minutes to go down there and see if I can drag him out. He may be too big to go get. So I'm going to see if I can call in some reinforcements. All right, he's standing right here, wheeled right through here, and straight down the hill there. So I'm going to set this camera down, because the last thing I need in my hands if he charges is a camera. And I'm going to go in here and see if I can find him. One thing about these big boars is they can take a round, and this big boy took it like a champ. We went down the hill. I looked for him for a solid hour. It got too dark to see, even with a spotlight in there on that creek, and I didn't have a dog available to me, so I had to do what I hate to do, which is back out. Came in there the next morning, found his running track down the hill, and basically hoof tracked him right up to where he piled up in the creek. He only made it 100 yards, dead on his feet. Bullet got both lungs and his right shoulder, but it never exited his body. So with the heat, him laying overnight, and the coyotes having at him, the only thing left to do is cape him and come out. But there's 23 more left in this bunch. If they come back, I'll be waiting.